Hello Libra, and welcome, or welcome back to Bohemian Path Tarot. I am Jen, and I have a terrible cold, so I apologize for my ridiculous voice, but I've got some tea here, and if we don't do these Tarotscopes today, they just won't get done before June, so let us persevere. Sorry for my slurping. I've got the Curious Travels Tarot here, and I've got the Familiar Field Oracle here. And as always, these are general intuitive readings, so we'll read whatever comes up. And these aren't quite the same as one-to-one readings. They're for an audience of Librans, so take what resonates and leave the rest for another Libra or for another day. And I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling, but I do fast forward the video over the shuffling part, but I'll catch up with you as soon as I'm starting to lay out the spread. I'll see you in just a second. Oh, you know what I forgot to say? Please be sure to check out the videos for your major 3 placements. That's your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign if you know them. Okay, now I'm gonna shuffle. See you in a second. Okay, Libra, let's see what we've got. Oh, nice. 8 of Wands. 8 of Cups. 8 of Swords. Okay, I think I see a pattern. Are you kidding me right now? Libra. I swear to you, I've been reading tarot for, let's see, 35 years. I've been doing this particular spread for, 20 some. I've never seen this happen. Holy. So you've got some 8 energy happening right now. And for, okay. This is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna, first things, let me, Libra, I'm only freaking out a little bit. Oh my God, okay. It's the Swan. So, love, allure, purity. Maybe we'll put the Swan over here. Let's see that better. Okay, I'm going to calm down. So, for any of you who are into numerology, let me first tell you that tarot numerology is different from numerology. 8s in the tarot are about being all in. They're about being invested. It's intense. So we have 4 8s, each of the minor arcana, each of the suits. So it's intense, but it's balanced intensity, as it should be for a Libra, right? As Libras are all about balance. Let's go through the cards one by one first, starting with the 8 of Pentacles. This 8 is actually all about the craftsperson. It's all about being invested in your work. So I'll talk about people who have jobs and are, sort of career oriented first. And then we'll talk about those who aren't traditionally employed. Okay, so obviously you can see in the artwork here, and it's true for, there we go, the artwork in most decks of the tarot, that there is a central character who is working on crafting something here. And the central character is seriously, but not, is seriously crafting, but happy, pleasantly, is pleased, is not stressed, is not anxious. They're good at what they're doing. They have produced a lot. They're talented. So what comes up with this typically is the theme that this character is good at their job, good at their craft, good at their talent, whatever that might be, however that, resonates for you. And it might mean more business or a positive performance review or a promotion, something like that. For gig workers, freelancers, it could mean a new contract, a new sale, commissions, more followers, content goes viral, something along those lines. If you're not traditionally employed, say you're retired, this could be in the area of a hobby. Someone asks you to help them in an area that used to be, your career. Someone asks you to give a speech or something along those lines in the area that used to be your career. Or it could be the sort of thing where they ask you to run the neighborhood block party or book club. Or, somebody recognizes you have natural wisdom or a good head on your shoulders, and they ask you to have some sort of position of leadership or responsibility, something like that. For students, this could be something like, again, a good grade, an internship, being put on the dean's list, something along those lines. This is some sort of recognition for your talent, your worth, your ability. And it's in an area that you have practiced, you have sort of earned your skill, or you've worked at your craft, you've improved. Let's see, there we go. You have worked at your craft. You have, sort of earned this recognition in whatever context that works for you, right? The next card, the Eight of Wands, is typically news, an invitation that is headed towards you, that is coming to you based on something that you have already put out into the world. So say in this field where you have experience and where you have built a body of work or reputation as it applies to you, if you've put out a resume, or if someone has seen your work, you could get a job interview or a promotion, or someone could ask you to, again, I'm trying to get this in focus, there we go. Someone could ask you to speak, you could get hired, you could get an audition. This is all about sort of another level of invitations, and where this would be, like sales and validation in that way, performance reviews and validation in that way. This would be like invitations and awards and speaking engagements and write-ups in, I don't know, not newspapers, but whatever, on social media, something like that. And people asking to collaborate with you, and people inviting you to join their group or join their firm, or as it applies to you. So people wanting to connect with you. Now, that leaves you with a choice, right? So that's what we have in this Eight of Cups. What do you want to do next? Where do you want to go next? And the Eight of Cups is all about, you have to go somewhere. You have to go somewhere. You have to make a choice. And the Eight of Cups can be filled with emotion, knowing you might have to leave something you care about. You might be torn between a few options. It might even be hard to tell a new option no, that you really want to stay where you've been, or something along those lines. You might choose love over a job, or you might choose a city, or you might choose education over a job or something. This is being absolutely kind of stuck in your sort of heart place, being absolutely aware, profoundly aware that something has to change. Sometimes this card comes up when you know something has to change and you don't have an alternative. So, for example, sometimes this card comes up when you're in a toxic work environment and you give notice before you have another job lined up. That can be an Eight of Cups situation. Or sometimes this card can come up when you get a great job offer in another city and you accept it before you have living arrangements in that new city. It could be something like that. So it can be when you're invested in something, so hardcore and so deeply, but there isn't sort of something underneath you to catch you yet. It's like a really deep emotional investment, but there's not a full sort of stability underneath the emotion yet. It's kind of following the heart, and the rest of your sort of stability will have to catch up because your heart is leading with this card. Now, finally, we have the Eight of Swords. This does not look like a happy card, but here's the trick with the Eight of Swords. Obviously, the central character looks like she's trapped. Looks like. Or maybe she feels like she's trapped. But this little jail that she's in is not really a jail, right? She could kind of shimmy out of this jail. Her binds, these little ties, are very loose. She could shimmy out of those. She could pull that blindfold off, and she could just kind of dart around these little swords. She's not really trying very hard to get out of this little prison, right? She's kind of let herself be stuck. And, you never want to blame the victim, right? But this is really the card of someone who is keeping themselves in a victim situation. And I don't want to blame you, Libra, at all. Sometimes we just get so used to a situation being so crummy that we don't realize that what has kept us down is no longer, like the monster is no longer in the room. It's just kind of the remnants of the army or whatever. Like the army is no longer here. It's just kind of like the the remnants of the army. She hasn't recognized that the army has left. So what this card is suggesting is whatever you had thought was holding you down or holding you back is not really there anymore. And this could be something from the past, like maybe words a bully said to you once, or an ex said to you, or your mother said to you. Or it could be that you're just so hard on yourself, or Libra, most likely, your perfectionistic nature is like these little swords, right? You know, it could just be that you're just super dang hard on yourself, and that's what's keeping you in this little dungeony place and keeping you from progressing to like the next place, whatever the next place is. But you don't need to be in this horrible pond dungeon. I don't know what this is, but you can escape this nasty, moist place. You don't need to be here. So there's some place awesome to get to, and some place your heart wants to be. The only thing holding you back is this silliness here. That is really, I don't mean to poo-poo your doubts or fears, but this is, you know, something someone told you once, or something your 14-year-old brain decided was true, and you can just pick this nonsense up and toss it aside and get on with the rest of your life. Okay, because you've got the talent and you've got the skills, and people want you. People want you. People want to work with you. People want your stuff, whatever it is. Whatever it is, they're waiting for you. It's time to level up. And maybe it's not just about work. I think for some of you it is about work. But in general, I think this is a reading about self-value at the end of the day, because we've got Swan showing up here, and Swan is about love and allure and purity, and in, you know, the sort of central, there we go, the sort of central piece of this is, no, come on. The central piece of this is not just romantic love, but self-love. It's grace, it's poise, it's elegance, all things Libra. It's outer beauty, it's inner beauty, and it's fairy tale endings. That's what swan energy is, right? So it's time to claim your fairy tale ending. It's time to level up. And you can do that by tossing this ugliness aside, right? Libra, these 8s were here to get your attention. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this reading, I hope you'll consider leaving a like, a comment, subscribe. In any case, take good care. Until next time, bye for now.